So Raven, I'll start with you first. Having Rondell back on the show and being back in this old house is such a nostalgia trip for someone who was in middle school when That's So Raven first came on. So how does it feel to, kind of be back in San Francisco and the swing of things of being kind of like, That's So Raven part two, but it's still Raven's home.
Yeah, it's interesting. When we started the first season of Raven-Symone, we really wanted to tell people that this wasn't a
That's a Raven.
it wasn't a That's a Raven reboot. That's what I wanted to say. It wasn't a reboot. It's a different show with the similar characters, but a different show. But this time, you guys, we are home. We are with dad. We are with family, and we have some amazing characters coming back from the original That's So Raven. So this is closer to a reboot than anything, but still not a reboot. We don't like to call it that. That was whatever. We are having such a good time on these sets that I grew up on, and being able to watch new characters thrive in these sets and create new stories to add to the beautiful cake that's already been created there is just, we have a great day every day of the week at work.
It's great. Raven Baxter has left a stamp on San Francisco. And it's almost like everywhere, like almost every episode, everywhere we go, either she's banned or she's working her way to get there. So it's funny trying to maneuver, characters to get her into places or get out of places. And it's just funny being back to the infamous, not infamous, but the fantastic San Francisco.
It's pretty infamous.
You're infamous in the city, but the city itself is not infamous.
You're right.
I like how you said not to call it a reboot. Because people feel some type of way about reboots these days. They're like, okay, we don't want to see retreads. I mean, sometimes it's done well, but sometimes it's not done so well. So
most of the time it's not done well.
Yes. And
call it like it is, man.
You're right though. And Isaac, for you, what are some changes happening with Booker over the relocation? Like, how do you think he's dealing with, being in a new city, new school, and that sort of thing?
Well, it's always funny being the new kid, going to a brand new school, making brand new friends, meeting new girls, trying new things out. It's always fun being able to play that. And our show does a really awesome job of showing it naturally, because everyone's always curious, as to who this guy is, what is he about, yada, yada, yada. And people are going to talk around the school, and people are going to talk everywhere else too. You're new, you just, So it's fun being able to play that and show a natural way of it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. And Raven, for you, That's So Raven actually set a record for Disney Channel for the amount of episodes. It was like so long running. And then now Raven's Home is deep into seasons. When you first decided to come back to Raven's Home, when you decided to come back for Raven's Home, did you have any idea that it would be like long running, just like That's So Raven? Like, it's like, two Disney Channel series, long running, and you like really did it again.
Honestly, I had no idea, but as Isaac knows, every single day I'm like, we about to go 100 episodes. We're about to go 100 episodes. I'm going to beat my own record. This is what we have to do. We have to do it. So I didn't know it because I'm not psychic, or are we? But that was definitely a goal.
That was always the goal. The very first day I met Raven, not met her, but like a few weeks after we met, and once I had the job and everything, she's like, yeah, we're going for 100. and that's the goal. And every day we creep to, what are we, 94 next week? We'll be on 94. So we're creeping our way up there, and that'll be a record for you, because nobody has ever played the same character for 200 plus episodes on the channel. So.
Out here setting records again, like it's just iconic.
Trying to set records over here. Where's the Guinness? I need to call somebody over here.
Put it in the books.
I need it in writing.
Thank you both so much for chatting with me, and I cannot wait for everyone to see the new season. So thank you both so much. How does it feel to be officially back? You guest starred in season 2, but you're back as a main character. How does it feel? And did you ever think there was a chance where you would be back full-time on Disney Channel as Victor Baxter?
I never thought in a million years that any semblance of That's So Raven was going to be back in that San Francisco, the house, the chill grill, the school. If you had said any of that from Raven-Symone, because Raven-Symone is Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, you think about it. That's a Raven San Francisco. We did Corey in a House, which was DC, and then Raven-Symone, which is Chicago. In a million years, you would have went, why are they? And they didn't just come back for one episode. One episode, maybe. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Like, pack your bags. We're moving back here.
Mm-hmm.
Put the clothes on. Be on the front door. Open the door. No, and when Raven told me the idea, I didn't have anything to say. I was like, I'm ready. Just let me know. Give me the keys. I'll turn the lights on.
Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest difference you'd say between being on a Disney Channel sitcom in the 2000s to like, I guess we could say like nearly 20-ish years, like not 15 to 20 years later? I was in middle school when I remember watching That's So Raven. So I feel like it's been definitely a decade in something like that. What's the differences between back then and now?
Ray's older. She's a woman. She was a little girl back then. Mm-hmm. And what I had said was she was, as a 13-year-old kid, she was fearless. But she didn't have her confidence yet. And now I'm watching a grown woman who is confident, who owns the space that she's in. And that's remarkable. I feel like a dad. I feel like a real dad of watching her. I'm going, wow, I love this journey. And for her to continue this journey with a new set of characters and to still push this story along, you know, for 5 years to be on a Disney Channel with Raven-Symone is saying something, that mm-hmm. people love this character. And, you know, I still remember conversations that I had with her 20 years ago. I said, you know, this is I Love Lucy. This is Laverne and Shirley. This is Carol Burnett. This is something that you don't see a woman carrying this force like this. This is Tracy Ullman. I don't know if you understand this as 13-year-old Raven-Symone, mm-hmm. but it will come to you. It will embrace you. And she's carried that baton very well.
Yeah. And speaking of that, as the years go on, what do you think about in terms of the legacy of the show? Because I feel like it's a huge legacy, because other than like, you know, we think of like That's So Raven and like, you know, Cousin Skeeter, of course, Kenan and Kel, as far as these family and kids oriented sitcoms, but they still kind of had the heart of the Black sitcoms of the 90s and 2000s, but they were for us when we were kids and teens. So what is it like to have a legacy, a pedigree with a show like That's So Raven that people of all generations know?
You summed it up when you brought up Black shows and having that heart. That's always there. That, and when I look at each script that we've done, so I think we've done 13 so far, that heart is all over the show. And to bring it back, you know, I said in a couple of interviews, it's like you're craving your mom's peach cobbler. And you hadn't had peach cobbler in 10 years. And that first bite, you're like, this is it. So I'm really blessed. I'm really honored to be back in that same environment and have it fit and work. That's the part that's great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this chat, and I can't wait for everyone to see the new season of Raven-Symone. So thank you so much.
I can't wait either. I'll be in line with everybody else.